Stop. Now we're live.
Now we're live. And we're in.
Yeah. Gotta wait till the circle stops spinning and then it's you're live.
Gotcha.
You're live today. But yeah, I haven't, I mean, I've seen, like, sometimes I'll see something, I'm like, this seems like this is a bigger deal, or like I'm missing some context here. Mm-hmm. But, you know, if it's not like super serious, then I'll just keep going. If it doesn't really pique my my danger sense, I'll just keep going. I'll just like, okay, this is not something I'm gonna know about, even though I like to know everything.
Well, yes, true story. But there are like some things, like somehow I'm on Sister Wives TikTok.
There's a Sister Wives TikTok.
There is a Sister Wives TikTok, and I mean, I watched that show. I watched like the first season, like everybody else in America did, because it was like 6 episodes, and oh my god, you know. But like, I'm like deep into Sister Wives TikTok, and I'm just like, I don't know how I got here, but I'm okay with it.
As long as you're a consenting adult, who cares what your family structure is like?
No, but now they're like all divorced, and so now they're not polygamous. He's just a monogamous, but still saying he's like, it's a lot.
Well, of course they're all divorced because there's no possible way that he has enough time and enough energy. That's why to make everybody happy. Like it's not like it's impossible. Like, the reason you're polygamous is because you don't give a fuck about other people.
And your kids, and like, because apparently, like, the dad forgot someone's birthday, and it was like a big deal because he never forgets birthdays. But I'm like, he's got 150 kids. How can he remember all their birthdays?
I only have one kid, and it's hard to keep up with him.
You better stop.
I'm like, how old are you again?
You better
and you can imagine, like, you have, like, I don't even know 150 people, or to have 50 kids. 50 kids. Like, nah. Some of y'all are just gonna get cut out. I don't even know. Like, the first 4, that's who I got.
Yeah.
Everything after that, talk to your mama about it. Which one? I don't even know which one's your mama. I don't even know.
Sometimes I call my dad. I'm like, hey, do you remember that you have kids? Like, just curious. It's been a minute since we talked. Like, do you remember?
That's how my dad
or what?
calls me. Hey, you remember you have a dad? I'm here.
Yeah.
You got anything you need fixed? You need like a car fixed or something?
Your dad offers to fix your car?
No.
Oh, I was gonna say what? Okay, so there was something else that I wanted to talk about. Cocaine Bear.
Jeez, did it come out yet?
I don't think it's come out yet, but every time I see the trailer, I want to see it more and more. Like,
you were.
I did not want to watch it.
Yeah, you were iffy about it.
The first time I saw the trailer, I was like, oh my god, the guys are gonna make me watch this. I know it. And then I like saw it again with Bella, and she was like, oh, that looks so great. And I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure the guys are gonna make me watch it. And then I saw it on TV, and I was like, And then I made Logan watch the trailer, and he's like, what? And I was like, right? Like, I think I want to watch it.
My problem is like, I bet it's, I hope it's not a bait and switch. You're like, oh, it's going to be a crazy movie about a cocaine bear. It's going to be funny. And then suddenly it's like a serious drama about like how, you know, drugs affect, you know, the Appalachians or whatever.
No way. I think it's going to be just like Snakes on a Plane. That's what I'm thinking.
I hope so. I hope it's Snakes on a Plane.
It has that feel, because I'm like one of the only people in the world who actually like Snakes on a Plane.
Everybody likes Snakes on the Plane. If they don't like Snakes on the Plane, they're lying to you.
Right? The movie is just so great.
It's like when Keenan lands playing, Randy's my cousin. I said fuck him because he can do this. Come on.
It's just, I remember when Snakes on the Plane was coming out. I have to remember the year because I didn't get to see it in the theater. So it might have been when we had kids, like when we had
day
babies.
One, first date in the theater, opening night.
I don't remember seeing it in the theater, but oh my god, James bought it for me on Blu-ray. Like I
have to watch this movie. If there's only one movie in the world that you have to watch, it's Snakes on the Plane.
Oh, it's so fun. I was just like, just thinking about all the epic, like when the snake comes out Like, doesn't it like in their bathroom? Like they're
it bites the guy's dick.
Yeah. So great.
So dumb, but it's like. And the funny thing is, like, if you've ever seen like Sam Jackson like talk about like how he got the Snakes in the Plane, he was like, I read the script and I was like, I have to make this movie. Like, I don't care like what I need to do, what I'm going to be a part of this movie, and like it's great. Like, I'm tired of these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane.
And he's so serious about it.
I mean, that makes the movie right there. Like, when that line right there, everything else could have been complete garbage, which it was.
Yes, who cares? It was that. I think that was in the trailer. I think that line. I don't know if at that point they did red band trailers, but I remember him being like, "I'm sick of these snakes on this plane," and everybody just like knew that what he was saying because of Sam Jackson.
Because he's not going to just say. It's not going to be PG. It wasn't PG-13.
It was not PG-13. Oh my gosh. I was like explaining the concept of the movie to my children. They're just like, I'm like, no, you don't understand.
So what are you telling me? There's snakes on the plane? Yes.
Yes. It is so good.
So how the snakes get on the plane? Someone put the snakes on the plane.
Yeah, the mob.
Why would he do that? To kill
like,
someone.
It was like the mob or the Armenians or
like the Yakuza or something like that. Because I think they were flying from Hawaii.
LA. Which is just so funny because there's no native snakes in Hawaii.
That's probably why there were snakes in the plane.
Yeah, it's so. Oh God! Like the only snakes in Hawaii are in the zoo.
Oh well, that's why Hawaii is a wonderful place that everybody should stop visiting because the natives don't want you to be there anymore. They're like, we're done. Good job. You ruined our island. Thank you.
Okay,
we didn't want to be a part of your stupid country anyway.
I think there's no squirrels. Am I making that up? I think I remember someone saying there's no squirrels in Hawaii also, but that could just be.
I would not have noticed if there were, because it's not like I go, there's a squirrel, let me just sear that into my memory. I remember all the chickens and the pigs.
Oh my gosh, I don't remember pigs. I remember chickens.
Because when we went golfing, I saw there were a lot of wild pigs in the golf. You weren't there for that, but like when we went golfing,
I went golfing. Oh, that was the first time we went. Yes, because our dear friend Stephen Millwood invited me along to everything. Our a-hole friend Chase didn't let me do anything.
Why don't you stay with the wives over there?
That's where the women go.
Y'all can knit or something. I don't know. We're going to go do man stuff, which means I get drunk while they play golf.
Yeah, right. You know what else we discovered in Hawaii? Centipedes.
Oh.
Where's my assistant?
All you have to know about a centipede is their bite it hurts, but you're going to survive. It's not going to kill you. Step one. Don't panic. Don't panic. It's not going to kill you.
Oh God, that was like super scary in the moment. So context for you guys, we went to Hawaii for one of our friends' wedding, and all of us drank a lot of alcohol.
I mean, it's a wedding. What else are you going to do at a wedding?
And none of us had shoes on because it was raining, and it's Hawaii.
I'm a black person. I had shoes on.
Okay, well, none other people did. So he's a James.
Our technical advisor.
Our technical advisor / producer / assistant stepped on a centipede with his bare foot. And I think at first he thought he stepped on like glass or something, right? Like it was
something.
It was like, and it was immediately like, ah, and we were like, what the hell? And then I think we saw what it was. And so we're trying to Google it. Jason Googles, how to treat a centipede a centipede bite. And it's like, step one, don't panic. And he's like, okay.
At that time, we were panicking
Because, oh no, we were like, should we call 911?
Yeah.
Oh God, it was a lot.
But for those who have never experienced a centipede bite, which I thankfully have not, apparently it's one of the most painful things, like the painful stings. But thankfully, it's not dangerous to you. It's you're going to be fine. In fact, you're going to be fine within a few hours. But it's just going to hurt.
It took a long time. Yeah,
it's going to hurt like hell.
And it was like I said, at the moment, it was very scary for us. And then I think like the next day we laughed about it. But
yeah,
but that was it took a long time, and like all of us were just like, what are we gonna do? But
as soon as I read "Don't panic," I'm like, okay, we can handle this. We got this. It says the number one rule: don't panic. Cool, I can do that part.
James says he's officially resigning now. Sorry, sir, you don't get a choice.
Yeah, you don't get to resign. This is not a paid job. It's slavery. This is what it is. Call it what it is.
It's Black History Month. You can't quit.
You can't quit. If my ancestors can't quit, you can't quit either.
Oh my God. Okay, so
do you just remember slavery?
Well, yeah. So a coworker of mine was telling me she's from Arkansas. And
I'm sorry.
And so she was saying there's a northern part of Arkansas.
Isn't that Kansas?
Right. Well, she said it's closer to like Oklahoma, but it's like segregation was never enforced. So there is very much still a high school where it is like
desegregation wasn't enforced?
Sorry, yeah, desegregation. Desegregation was never enforced. And so she said there's very much still like a white high school and then like everybody else high school.
Oh, yeah.
But not like, hey, there's maybe like a kid who lives on the right side of the track.
Yeah.
No, it is, they never enforced it. And so like it's so ingrained in the town now that like that is just how
we don't need them to come over to our school. We got a good school. We got our school.
So I was just like, we were just like going down the rabbit hole looking at it. She was like, yeah, it was just the wildest thing.
I mean, we have up until recently down in South Georgia, that high school that had 2 different proms. They had the segregated proms, and they didn't stop that until like, what was like 2019, 2018, something like that.
Oh
when people realized like, y'all can't do this shit. Like, what do you mean y'all got 2 different proms? You got a white prom and a black prom. Like, what's going on here?
I didn't even know about that, Jason. I'm gonna go down that rabbit hole. I was like, what the hell is even happening?
I guess officially the last school to get desegregated was a school in Alabama in 2016. That was like the official. That too. Yeah. Which, this is why we live in Georgia, because Alabama's shittier.
For real. That's what I always say. I'm always like, guys, look, we could be Florida or we could be Alabama. Like,
or Mississippi. It ain't that bad. As southern states go, Georgia is the prettiest pig with lipstick.
Yeah. At least Georgia has Atlanta.
Yeah.
keeps us a little regular. And now
we have a large metro area
for the movies, so hopefully that'll keep us a little.
Yeah, Atlanta's a chocolate city. It's it's hot Atlanta. What? Where the players play.
Are we Are we waiting on Jason, or are we starting?
Yeah, we're waiting on Jason. Yeah, this is what we're doing. We're waiting on Jason. We're just hanging out.
Okay, well, it's Black History Month, so I'm not allowed.
We should wait on Jason before we talk about this wonderful book. I got a question to ask you, Lisa, because hopefully no one who's actually paying attention for the book cares. Mm-hmm. How many protagonists?
Protagonists? Aren't they all protagonists?
Well, how many main characters?
4.
You didn't finish the book, did you?
I don't remember, Jason. I was just like,
you were just like, I gotta get it done. I was
just like, come on. And then I even like went and looked up like the wiki to like, what did I just read? And
all right, how many POV characters are there?
3, right?
Sure.
Yeah,
we'll get into it.
That's what I.
I can't wait to review. I love this book. I can't wait to review it. I can't wait till you like shit on it and like this is too much.
I mean, I'm not gonna shit on it. It's but yeah, there's no point. We should have learned our lesson from Wednesday, so we're not gonna talk about it anymore. But until Jason gets here. But yeah. Next.
Well, you know, for those who are still watching while we're waiting for Jason, I could show you guys something really cool, I guess. You know, I know she hated it, James. We're aware that she hated it.
Hated it.
Oh, this is not the right one.
Are you showing us something.com?
Yeah, something.com. Oh, this is the tab. This is the tab. Oh, I got too many tabs open. God damn it. This is tab. No, this is it. This is it. Oh crap. I gotta do full screen. And then I gotta do this. And then I gotta do this. Add to stream. Well, there we go, everybody.
Yay!
We got our website is up. It's available now. You guys can come in and look at all of our latest episodes. Go to our videos and look at all our videos. You can come to our blog and read a blog. I actually wrote something for our blog. It's about Susie, you know?
I want to write something for our blog.
Yeah, you have access to do stuff. I sent you the stuff.
Right? Okay. Also,
and we have an about page. See, I sent you the stuff, but you haven't filled out. This is you right here, Lisa. You haven't filled out anything yet. I got a freaking bio.
I didn't realize that you were submitting. That's on me. I didn't realize you were sending it saying like it's official. I thought
that was my official.
Okay, Jason, I'm sorry. I've been a little busy.
But coming next week, people can come in and they can comment on whatever on our videos, our podcasts, or on our blogs, and add your own thoughts and feelings and opinions to our little site here.
And also tell us what you want us to review.
Yeah, you can do that. Oh, that's a good feature to do. Yeah, you can do that too. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Literally. That's what I want. I want you guys to tell us what you want us to review.
Yeah.
And
give us suggestions for shit.
So that, and then we can talk about it.
But yeah, it's up. It's available now. Mailing emails and stuff.
We got a PO box so people can send us stuff that they want us. Like I could be wearing something really cute right now. Someone wants to send me.
Or I got a Venmo. We should flash that on screen.
We sure should.
It's Black History Month. Send Black people money.
Yeah, I actually saw a TikTok that was just like, how you want to know how to support Black people this Black History Month? Send them money.
Yeah. You know, just send your Black friend $20. Yeah. It's fine. Yeah. They'll be like, thank you for the $20.
You know what it's for.
It does not appease your ancestors. I'm gonna need a lot more than this. A lot more.
Shoot.
But it helps.
Maybe that's not a terrible idea. Just like putting up a Venmo, because maybe we'll just have like an angel donor who just loves us. A
dying billionaire.
Who's just like
I'm dying and I want to do something good for poor people. And we're like on the internet, like, oh, these guys look like they need money. Here's my $1 billion. And then we'll never do the show again because I'm like, I don't need to do anything anymore.
What if our one follower who's like not my family and friends is like a billionaire?
It's just living like his giant like Citizen Kane mansion by himself. All he has is like one TV where he's constantly writing, like watching our show. He's like, these are my friends. These are my friends. Like there's no one else in this huge empty mansion.
Okay. Unfortunately, my dear husband introduced my teenage son to
Limp Bizkit.
No. South Park.
Yeah.
However, I South Park always has a few treasures in there.
Oh, South Park is good for the first 10 seasons.
I'm pretty sure he's on like season 23 because he just binges shit. But anyway, it was the episode where like Facebook became like a thing, and Stan was like being friends with everyone, so people wouldn't.
Oh yes, I remember this episode. Yes,
like so there was like a nerdy kid in class who like didn't have any friends, so like Stan was his friend,
and then
he's like taking the laptop to like the movies with him, and he's like telling his parents, "I'm going to the movies with my friend Stan." It's just like,
yes, I remember this episode.
And then he unfriends him because he gets rid of Facebook, and I was just like, "Oh, yep, there's some treasures in there for sure." that was a good one.
Speaking of risque cartoons, you hear what happened to your boy Justin Roiland?
No, I didn't. I saw you texted that, but I didn't get to investigate.
Oh, Justin Roiland, the co-creator of Rick and Morty, for those who don't know, now you know, was fired. He's also the voices of both Rick and Morty, as a bunch of other, ancillary characters. He got fired from the show because he's a scumbag.
Wait, I can't remember if it's Justin Roiland or Dan Harmon, because one of them a few years ago kind of got called out by previous EPs or something.
Which is why Justin Roiland shouldn't have done the shit that he did, because Dan Harmon did have a small scandal.
Okay.
Because, when he first got divorced from his wife, he kind of like hit on a girl that worked for him and kind of like pressured her to go out with him. And of course she did, because he's just her boss. And then like later on realized that was a shitty thing to do.
No, she called him out for it.
Yeah, she called him out for it.
Like publicly. Yeah. And then
he went out,
said, "Oh shit.
That was a shitty thing to do. I'm a terrible human being." And did the whole, "I'm sorry, you can believe him or you don't believe him. It's up,
I apologized. He handled, regardless if it was true or not, he handled it the right way.
Yeah.
Like he took ownership of it, and I think he offered to step down or something.
Yeah. It's like, I quit. And they're like, "No, you can't do that. Yeah. We need you." But yeah. So yeah. And you would think, having a friend and or mentor like Dan Harmon go through all that stuff, you would think you would avoid similar situations. But not only was Justin Roiland like, DMing like underage girls and like, "I can't wait till you turn 18, blah, 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 blah." But also he has a domestic abuse charge and false imprisonment and kidnapping. Yeah.
Jesus. What the? He just said YOLO.
You only live one time. The pickle Rick. Blah, blah, blah.
So was it canceled then, or?
No, the show, they're not going to cancel. Firstly, if you've been on TikTok, if you've been on the same side of TikTok I've been on, there are a million people who can do a spot on Rick and Morty impression, And even if they don't hire somebody who can do a spot on one, they'll probably hire one who's even better because they're an actual voice actor or whatever.
Yeah.
So, and he wasn't really writing the show. Like he wrote one episode back in like season 2. He writes the Interdimension cable TV show episodes, which is basically
which they really haven't done that. They did the first 2, and then they had the weird like not the Inception one, but the time loop train one. First of all, that one,
it's classic. Yeah. It's classic. But really, in those 2 episodes, all he does is riff, and they just animate what he's saying. So he's really not writing anything.
Yeah.
So like all the best episodes, or at least in my opinion, are written by other people that aren't him, and so it's not going to be. Even the Pickle Rick episode was written by the showrunner of She-Hulk.
Oh, I did not know that.
I did not know that either until today. The more you know.
The more you know. Did you since we're just talking about creepy guys, did you hear about, that 90s show? Have you watched it at all?
I have avoided it like the plague. I saw like one clip and I'm like, you know what? This is not going to be for me.
Yeah.
So you've watched every episode?
No. I watched like the first 2 episodes. I put it on as like a background show. Like I tried to watch the first episode and I was like, ugh, but it's not so terrible that I can't just have it on in the background. Anyway, the girl, the neighbor, she was doing an interview and they were talking about like, has anybody, like, did you like have fun meeting the original cast? Has any of the original cast like reached out to you to hang out? And she said, oh, I really liked working with Wilmer, and he's like taken an interest in me. Like, yeah, and I'm just like,
no, go baby, like, XXX red flag.
Like, why are they letting this happen again? Like,
this is worse. This is almost as bad as Millie Bobby Brown's like best friend is Drake. It's like, no, this is not should happen. Like, stop.
Yeah. I'm like nobody's like, hey, maybe like don't bring Wilmer around 17-year-old girls.
Yeah. Let Wilmer shoot his scenes by himself.
I'm honestly surprised that they brought Wilmer back. Like,
well, he hasn't had anything officially bad, right? Like, Danny Masterson, he's, done stuff, right? Like, they've got evidence that Wilmer's just a creep, right? He's, and even though that's bad in itself, like, it's not necessarily legal to be creepy, because obviously if it was, I would be in jail a long time ago.
Okay.
They were like, throw this guy away. Yeah. So he's just creepy. I mean, like, he's always been like that, though. So it's not good, but c'est la vie, such is life. But I've binged watched the Lockwood and Company show on Netflix. You might like that show with the
man. Fuck Netflix. Like, did you see all that Netflix stuff going on? They're crazy. Yeah.
I'm the actual owner of the account, so therefore I don't care.
No, but if they think like if Brody's on your account,
they're gonna charge me $6 plus another $1, and then they might shut off my account.
Yeah, like
per month.
That's the dumbest. Like, what?
And then they also like cancel shows like without even like really popular shows without even like giving them a chance to. So it's like they're doubly shooting themselves in the foot. Like, oh yeah, everything you like, we get rid of it.
Why are they doing that? I don't understand that.
Because whoever runs the company is a greedy moron who's like, I just want the money. Give me the money and I will take it. And all our customers are idiots. They'll like what we tell them to like. Dance monkeys.
Like we turned on Netflix today and it was like, hey, you're only watching at so many pixels. Do you want to see a clearer TV for $5 more a month? I'm like, no, I'm fine.
I pay the $20 whatever it is for the 4K HD, even though I don't even have an HD TV.
Why do you do that?
Look, you pay for no commercials. I pay for 4K. All right, let's just.
Okay, that's fair. I will give you that. I also want to say that I pay for no commercials on Hulu because I do the Hulu Disney ESPN bundle.
Yeah.
So it was like, instead of it being like $14.99 a month, it was $19.99 a month. And I was like,
you might as well do it at that point.
Yes, please, for my sanity. I do still have commercials on Peacock because we just have the like whatever our Comcast gave us for free. So what's happening?
I have the commercials on Hulu because I'm a dirty povo. That's a British slang for being poor. You pavo.
Because you're povo.
Yeah. Because I'm rich and you're povo.
Yeah, you're povo. Did you see the new one with the ice? He's like,
he's got like, I got different
lines in my ice because I'm rich and you're poor. You can't afford lines in your ice.
You know how I know I'm rich? I have a heated driveway, and you're poor.
Listen, I asked my assistant to pour me a glass of wine, and it's literally like the whole.
That's not a glass of wine. Like, he just gave you the bottle. He's like, here you go.
Oh, Jesus.
Look, don't be like Jaron and drink the whole thing at once, all right? We don't need another episode like that.
It smells so good.
I just have a delicious Mountain Dew in my Dickies yellow cup. Oh, Dickies.
Are you sober for Black History Month?
Of course, I'm sober for Black History Month. It's a sober month, you know.
Oh, is that a thing?
Yeah. No. If I could be drunk every second, I should have just been going to work like, I'm drunk. Y'all deal with it. Black History Month.
Are you wearing a coat?
I'm wearing a shirt, an overshirt.
Oh, okay. The ankle every once in a while, it looks like you're wearing like a blazer, and I'm like, this mofo is not for real wearing a blazer with his.
No, yes, I'm the Duke of all nerds here, wearing a blazer. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our show, Masterpiece Theater.
Jason, we're gonna have to do a show where you talk like that the whole time.
I can't even do it for 2 seconds. Today we're discussing. I can't even do it. There's Jason. I'm gonna add him sheet right before he's like, you better be ready. Oh crap! I hit the button.
Hey,
long time no see. I know. I missed you.
I
Lisa.
saw him for lunch.
Not so much, Jason. Not so much, Jason.
We had delicious Taco Mac wings.
Yeah. For a second there, I thought that girl was trying to get at you, and then I realized she mentioned that she had a kid and was married, and I was like, wah, 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 wah.
Sounds like she just wanted a big tit.
Oh, that old lady that was sitting next to me? The one that was like 60?
She wasn't 60.
She wasn't 40.
Probably, I was going to say probably 50. But, man, I tell you, man, beggars becoming choosers now. I see.
What happened when you got there? Obviously, this is not really anything, but I had to struck up a conversation with the bartender because we have the same, our birthdays are similar. She was on the 22nd or 26th, and I was the 27th. And then we had like a long conversation about having our birthdays on Thanksgiving. And I was like, hey, this is something we have in common. But you're also probably like 23, and I'm like 50.
Oh, see, that's when you should be like, oh, that's what they have in common. We should talk about this more over dinner that I'm going to take you on or something like that. That's cheesy. That I don't know if that line even works anymore because I'm old and washed. But
hey, random stranger that I just met.
I mean,
you want to go to dinner with me, another stranger?
Everybody's a stranger until you do meet them. So,
oh yeah, strangers just friends you haven't met yet. Isn't that from The Simpsons?
Let's go with that.
Everything's from The Simpsons, don't you know?
Yes. According to South Park, Simpsons did it. So
Simpsons did it. Hey, so how you doing? Black History Month, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I forgot about that. That does come around once a year. I forgot. So your kids, get all your Dr. Kings ready, your Malcolm X's, your Rosa Parks, your Willie Mays, your Jackie Robinsons, the plethora of the same people we talk about every year. Let's get them ready.
The best thing I love about Black History Month is people coming with like anecdotal facts about Black people. Like, and it's always the same. It's always the same one too. It's never like anything different. Nowadays it's more different, but like, especially when you're younger, it's always like, George Washington Carver did peanut butter.
I was about to say that.
No, he didn't. George Washington Carver. He did not invent peanut butter. No, he just he did invent crop rotations. Planting one crop for a season and then planting another crop for another season, so that your soil doesn't get over the nutrients of the soil doesn't get sucked out. But or he rediscovered. I'm sure some ancient people are like, we figured it out 50,000 years ago, but in Georgia back in the day, they were like, let's plant it all until everything runs out. Who cares? He's like, I'm gonna go broke like that. But,
everybody knows Peter Pan invented peanut butter.
Yeah, it's easy. Peter Pan. Mr. Peanut.
Mr. Peanut.
Mr. Peanut Butter invented peanut butter. He's the one.
Right. So yes, useless Black history facts that nobody.
It's always like,
I feel like we should accept it because like so much other shit that was stolen from us doesn't get equated with us. So let's just let George. Let's JWC have peanut butter, man.
Yeah, like, you got peanut butter.
Yeah, we'll have it. Like,
we're not gonna get rock and roll back.
Right.
He's gone. Just let it go.
Yeah, just or K-pop. I'm sorry, but we're not getting that back.
What about rap music?
We still kind of have that.
We're still fighting. We're still fighting with that.
Still,
I mean,
still in our hands. They're tugging it away, but it's until like
I would say it's like
now,
in our hands with open palms, though.
Yeah,
it's not really as tight as we think it is.
When 100 years from now, when the world famous rapper is some kid from like Lawrenceville, even though they're
Canada,
Canada.
He's from Toronto.
He's Canadian and he just happens to be Jewish too. Yeah, when that day comes, it's the end of rap.
When he's from Kansas and he's like, "Hey y'all, this is my rap," and that's number one. Then it's over. But it's been slowly being taken away. Thankfully, what hasn't happened is that even though like you can say like Eminem is one of the greatest rappers of all time, or the Beastie Boys, they haven't really Elvised anybody.
Correct.
You know.
Oh well.
Usually, like like white rappers are really like, oh yeah, I'm a white rapper, but you know these guys are pretty good too. Like all these dudes.
These guys are pretty good.
I got at least one black friend. Look, this is Dr. Dre here. Come here. Say hi, Dr. Dre.
That sounds about right.
Like I was like, nah.
Right. Sorry to everyone who has waited. Thursday is becoming a tough. I thought it was going to be an easier day for me, but it's becoming a tough day because track. And then I forgot that we have the good old take my kids to Dairy Queen or smoothies after practice on Thursday because it's their last day of practice. And we had stopped doing it for a little bit, and then they're like, "No, you promised this. This is what we do now." And I'm like, so I'm gonna try to next week try to do things like get the stuff before they get out of practice, and so I just come straight here and be ready to go. So
you can always pick a different day too. I mean, it's not a big deal if we need to.
The best thing about children is you could tell them something like in passing, like as a maybe, like, oh yeah, maybe we'll go to the Toys R Us today or tomorrow, and that is a blood promise to them. You swore on your father's grave that we're going to Toys R Us. We're going to Toys R Us. So.
Yeah. I figure eventually I just either would do that or like I said, we'll work it out. I just don't want everybody waiting until like 9. So I'm like running in, even to the point I had my equipment set up this time, but it was like still getting in. Hey, showers, baths, make sure you take protein. Blah blah. Sounds weird saying that out loud, but yes, the things I got to do before I could just come downstairs and enjoy fun with my friends and talk about geek stuff.
Yeah, we got a lot of geek stuff to talk about too, as well.
So we do want to start the show.
Let's start the show.
I mean, we can 38 minutes.
I mean, this is your show. You do what you want.
This is it is Lisa's show technically because this has been on the show. We've been way more popular than we ever been. So at this point, I'm ready just to forfeit it and say it is officially her show. We'll just follow her lead.
It's just gonna be all about Taylor Swift from that point on, and we'll just be like, here. Hey, we're starting the show now.
I have layers. I'm wearing a Hufflepuff shirt. I'm like an onion. I got layers.
Yeah, we know, Lisa. We know. You're not like other girls.
Yeah, like
you like an onion. I've never heard a woman call themselves. Oh no, I've had a woman say they were onion, but it was like they booty. Onion booty. It make you cry when you see it. Yeah. But I've never heard a woman call themselves an onion.
She means metaphorically an onion.
I got layers, like Shrek.
Like those flaky biscuits,
Yes.
Oh yeah, them things are the bomb. Oh,
those are so good.
They're really good.
Not them Popeyes biscuits. Not them Popeyes.
Oh, you just need a drink with those. You need like 2 bottles of water.
Okay, start the show, Jason.
I'm trying to start the show.
The show started.
We already in it. Hey everybody, welcome to the Headcanon Circus podcast. I'm your host, the Duke of all Night Skins, the Lord of all Nerds, the Nerd of all Blurds, Jason. Thank you. There's an applause. I hear it. There's an applause somewhere. Thanks everybody for joining us once again. We have a fantastic show for you today. We actually are doing our book club episode where we're going to be reviewing the 5th season by N.K. Jemisin. You know how I'm saying it.
Wow.
Look, I'm sorry, I'm bad with names, okay? It's the dyslexia. Either way, guess who's joining us? Our lovely host. He is the I would say the Fred Sanford to my Lamar, Jason.
Hi, how's everybody going? Thank you guys for waiting. If you have not waited, because you just put on the podcast, it was like, man, that was 30 minutes of them just talking, Ron. And we started the show. Thank you for sticking around with you all.
And also, she's not like other girls. She is going to be the chosen one in any dystopian fiction.
Hell yeah, main character energy right here.
Lisa, how you doing, Lisa?
I'm just doing fantastic. How are y'all? Happy Black History Month, you know?
Yeah, because we're going to keep it black today as well. We black y'all. I wish I had that CB4 clip where he's like, I'm black y'all, and I'm black y'all, and I'm thinking to play black y'all.
I would play it, but the last time I played it on the show, it got copyrighted. And
I was thinking it was going to get copyrighted. But for those who are joining us for the first time, or those who are joining us again, thank you for joining us once again. Please go ahead and like, share, subscribe. Also, get into the comments, all right? If you have any sort of questions or you disagree with us, get in the comments and ask the comments. You can talk about anything you want to talk about. Join our pantheon.
Join our pantheon. With Panthora, with Lion-O.
If you are an Elvis fan, or if you are a avid fan of The Greatest Showman, get in the comments and tell me why I suck, and I can tell you what body part of mine to lick.
Okay.
Spoiler alert: it's my butthole.
Okay. Also, if we get to like a cajillion subscribers, he'll watch it, because then he'll do anything to keep the money coming.
Little do you know, he's really just saying that because he enjoys that.
Speaking of followers, subscribers, if we get to 5,000 subscribers, sometime before the end of this century, Lisa will make me and Jason and Jason, do hot yoga. We will definitely not enjoy it. At least I won't enjoy it. I don't know. Jason might.
I'm going to enjoy it. Every moment of it. Every moment of it.
And then we will definitely do some footage of it, and you can see us in pain, and we will put it on the show for you guys for your enjoyment, because we are gluttons for punishment. Also, if we get to what do you say? 10K? I have to agree with everything you say
for an entire episode, no matter what.
Don't make me do that.
No matter what I say.
Is this hot yoga class? I'm sure it's just full of women, right?
No, it's not.
So there's other guys there.
No, there's straight dudes. There's just
good.
There is.
There's gonna be at least two moderately straight dudes eventually.
There's three. There's three guy instructors, and then James went with me one time, and there were other dudes there, and there's like a really old guy who goes, and he's very nice, and he sweats like 80 gallons, and I'm just like,
that's gonna be dying. His body's purging his soul out through the sweat.
So no, it feels good, and it's almost like there's a few stretches. Like the first time I did it, I cried because I was just like not in pain, but it was just like because I just like my whole brain just shut off, and I was like, oh, okay, so this is just literally Zen. So yeah, it's good. It's like therapy, but cheaper.
Just do drugs for that.
Yeah, that's what I do. Just do the drugs. It's even cheaper. But I guess also if we get to 20,000 subscribers, we'll talk about Taylor Swift for all those Swiftie fans.
We can't just do that normally.
We can, but we're trying to.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah. Also,
we can put that on the
Sarah
Pantheon.
will come on that episode, and she'll because she's like,
and we can get actual Swiftie. Taylor Swift.
Yes.
Is she married? She's married now, right?
Not officially. She's not single. She's not single.
Hey, look, until you get a ring.
You ain't married.
Okay. Okay.
This show's gonna be so off the rails today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this.
That's also the folly of man, where dude in Buford, Georgia, thinks he has a chance with Taylor Swift.
She's gonna be here in April, so
40-year-old man has the confidence enough to think, you know what? I'm gonna shoot my shot. See what happens.
Moment like this.
I mean, Sarah can come on the show whenever she would like. You don't gotta wait till Taylor Swift.
Oh yeah.
We invite all people to come on the show and express their opinion about anything they've watched or not watched or read. We're what's the word for it? Egalitarian like that. So if you want to come to the show, please come to the show. Speaking of stuff, I know me and Jason and I talked about this earlier today. Before we get into the review of the book, I want to talk about the new James Gunn news from DC. Yeah, Lisa, have you seen any of the new stuff?
So James has been telling me a little bit, and then I saw today that, like, I don't know. Just go ahead. Because I just read something that he said that Henry Cavill was like never hired. And so that means he couldn't have been hired. James told me about that. Yeah.
James Gunn also said that was kind of out of his hands, and what Warner Brothers did to Henry Cavill was a pretty dick move. But whether or not he's just lying to us just to make us feel better about it, I don't know. I'm not his agent, but he said, like, if it were up to him, he would at least look at him in the face and fired him.
Well,
okay then.
Well, I am James Gunn's agent, and I'm just rich. That's all I have to say about that. No comment.
I'm going to share this little Decider article, and we can look at some of the stuff that is slated to follow. Some stuff that I think is pretty exciting. Sometimes I'm pretty meth about. Like the first couple of things, like lanterns. That looks like that's. I mean, if they put Jon Stewart in a Green Lantern movie or any property, I'm going to be there for it.
Well, they'd be stupid not to. I don't understand. Yeah. He's the favorite Green Lantern. Like, basically, I mean, there's like a whole generation of people who don't even know how Jordan is.
I think most people who are. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Lisa.
No. I'm just saying, like, he's amazing. Green Lantern was always one of my favorite in the DC universe, and part of that is just because I went down the rabbit hole reading all of these like DC novels.
Yeah.
And so I just like got to really like deep dive into Green Lantern, get to deep dive into The Flash, which is why I just like those are my top two favorite DC. Whoa. And so I just feel like they're just so stupid not to capitalize on those things. But
also with the Jon Stewart Green Lantern thing, I think most people who are comic book movie fans, people that these things are built upon, right, are of the age where Jon Stewart is their Green Lantern. You know, these are what the fans have grown up with, like, you know, from the Justice League cartoons back in the late 90s, early 2000s. If you're watching, especially, you know, if you're a Gen Z, that is your Green Lantern. You don't even know who the other guys are. Right? Mm-hmm. So that's always like a plus if they're going to put it. I know, Jason, you know, you're a big Booster Gold guy. They're going to do a Booster Gold show, which is great. That Paradise Lost. Now they might be trying to chase chase a trend here, but the Paradise Lost, as described, is going to be like Wonder Woman's Game of Thrones, where they're going to like, because there's two different Amazon kingdoms, and it's before Themyscira became a Themyscira, and then like there's another one in I want to say in Egypt, because that's where all people go, is Egypt, the populous country in fucking Africa. But they're gonna battle over who becomes, you know, the heir to Amazon or whatever, and I think that might be pretty cool.
Are you saying that's gonna? Am I hearing prequel? Is that what you're saying?
Prequel, yes. There's not going to be a Wonder Woman in this, or if it is Wonder Woman, it's not going to be a Diana. Look,
pass. Hard pass. I'm so over prequels. If you guys make me watch that, you better let me just be drunk while we're watching it.
Not all of this is going to be great. I'm pretty interested in seeing the Creature Commandos. I don't really give a crap about monsters fighting Nazis, but I'll fight Nazis any day of the week, so that's pretty cool. There's going to be a Waller TV show, which is going to be like,
see that.
Not Shonda Rhimes. That's the other black lady.
Viola Davis?
Viola Davis, yeah. I'm sorry. No, not going to say it out loud.
Viola Davis is a goddess and a queen, and I could not believe.
And she should have been nominated for an Oscar for The Woman King, but, you know.
She's just, oh my God,
But yeah, it's going to be a spinoff of of Peacemaker. I'm really interested in the new Superman movie because, you know, they're actually going to bring, like, hope back to Superman, like actually being like a kind and caring person. And like, you know, do all the stuff that you
click on. Bigger.
You can click on the things. You can move the things. Oh,
yes. So it's bigger, so people can see the things.
They're listening to us anyway. They can't read.
The people who are watching, there you go.
There are 6 people watching us right now, sir.
Yeah. Hey, none of them can read.
You mean 600? That thing.
600 people for all those.
Oh
yeah. 600 people are watching us. Correction.
But
I'm excited about the Superman legacy. Like, I hope if they do this, they do not do an origin story. I think they should have Superman already in this universe, kicking butt and taking names and all that great stuff. That's my only hope. I mean, we've seen from Spider-Man that you don't have to do the origin story for people to really rock with it. So, but I'm excited to see what James Gunn does with this.
And I feel like, from what they're saying, this is not going to be an origin story, even though it's still going to be a younger Superman. But I feel like James Gunn is probably the only person left who knows, like, oh, we can be gritty and dark, but we also can be fun too. And make this things like I'm not really happy about the Authority. I don't really care much about the Authority. That's not really a classic DC property. I feel like the Authority, the best thing the Authority got for them is what happens if Superman and Batman were boyfriends. I think that's the best thing going for it. But also it's like, it's the gritty, anti-heroes who we're going to do whatever it takes to get the job done, even beating you to death. And I'm like, that's kind of played out, in my opinion. Feel free to disagree. But the Batman Brave and Bold.
Yes, James told me about this one. I'm very excited about this.
They not only are they going to introduce Damian Wayans as Robin, but they're also going to put everybody else in there as well. Like Nightwing's going to be in this shit, and it's not going to just be like
yes.
And it's going to be after the Grant Morrison run of Batman and Robin, which was, if you never read that series, that run, it is fucking awesome. Especially when Dick Grayson is Batman and with Damian Wayne Robin, it's great. But either way, I'm excited about that.
We really need a follow up to Batman and Robin with Chris O'Donnell.
Hard disagree.
Val Kilmer is no longer able to do it, unfortunately. I think what's his face, George Clooney, he could probably be convinced to wear the cowl again.
Right. Well, I mean, Chris O'Donnell's taking over as Batman.
Oh, so you should say Chris O'Donnell is he's like 50, he's like 75 now. He was 61 when he started. Batman and Robin.
I'm realizing your ages. I feel like all this show you've just been commenting on people's age today, Jason.
Yes. It's because he's turning 40 this year, so he's coming.
Yeah, I'm feeling old myself. Okay,
closer to God right now.
Yeah, I'm closer to God than I've ever been. The Supergirl movie looks pretty cool too. I think that's going to be pretty badass. I don't really give a crap about.
Are they keeping the Supergirl from the Flash movie, or are they going to use a new one? Did he mention anything like that?
I don't think they mentioned anything like that, but what he said was going forward that since the Flash movie is going to be kind of like the jumping off point, so they're still going to do like Aquaman and with Jason Momoa, they're still going to do like Shazam movies, and they're still going to do the Robert Pattinson Batman. So it's going to be like Elseworld stories plus the main DCE cinematic universe. So I don't know if they're going to.
X-Men, it's just going to be all over the fucking place.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
But we are smart and savvy consumers, and we're able to realize that Batman is different from this Batman. Are they the same movie? We can figure it
out. Are we? Are we?
No,
I guess we'll find out.
Definitely going to be confused. Why in that movie they got a Robin, and this one he's just an emo boy?
Emo
just
boy.
So sad. Dude, Bruce, your parents died 20 years ago. Get over it.
You can't tell nobody how to grieve, Jason. Don't tell nobody how to grieve.
Yeah.
If you got $1 billion, I can tell you how to grieve. Get some therapy.
Nope. Why does he need therapy when he can just
beat up on poor people? You're right.
Ruin kids' lives.
He only ruined one kid's life, and that's because
I feel like I feel like Jason Todd would beg to differ.
That's the one. Yeah, that's the one.
You don't think Dick Grayson? He ruined Dick Grayson's life. Too.
I don't think. I think when you say it, when Dick Grayson looks back, he goes, "You know what? I had a pretty good run. You know, actually, I got adopted by a billionaire, and he didn't touch me. I think this is awesome."
Nope.
Didn't Alfred leave all his money to Dick too? When spoiler alert that Alfred dies in the comics at one point. He's all his money to Dick. So.
Apparently, Alfred was sitting on the bank too, because he lives at his employment. I mean, he didn't have to spend no money.
Steal from a kid all day, it's fine. You will be rich too. Kid can't count. Doesn't know what's going on. He's out fighting bad guys. He's not looking at what his bank account says.
You know, I just went to the universe where the reason that Alfred lets Bruce Wayne do all this shit is because he's been embezzling from him for like 30 years. So yeah, Master Bruce, go ahead, dress up like a bat, fight those dudes. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. It's I was just supposed to stop you. No, do what you want.
Give myself another 40% raise this year. Yeah. Yes.
Another 20% in cash. Here we go.
Right.
He ain't reading the books. I don't give a crap about Swamp Thing. They've been trying to make Swamp Thing a thing since Swamp Thing was a thing. And the last time Swamp Thing was good was when Alan Moore did it in the 80s. And I don't care. Okay. They tried to do it on the HBO Max. Stop making Swamp Thing a thing. I don't know. Pick somebody else. Y'all tried it. It's been tried for 20 years. You tried and failed. Pick Animal Man or Plastic Man or
not Plastic
Vixen.
Man.
I don't know. Pick somebody else. Give me a Poison Ivy show. I'll watch that over that.
We went through those. We went through Lanterns, Paradise Lost. There we go. All right.
What is that?
I figured it was going to get banned on YouTube, so I'm just going to scroll back up.
Let's go right up.
Jason, your ads are what you search on the internet,
right? Targeted ads.
Hey, look. What I do in the privacy of my own computer is the privacy of my own computer.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, let's get into the reason why we're here. We've been dicking around for far too long, so let's get into it. All right. This is the way the world ends for the last time. It starts with a great red rift across the heart of the world's sole continent, spewing ash that blots out the sun. It starts with death, with a murdered son and a missing daughter. It starts with betrayal and a long dormant wound rising up to fester. This is the stillness, a land long familiar with catastrophe, where the power of the earth is wielded as a weapon, and where there is no mercy. That is from Amazon.
It sounded like you said this spread ass.
Look, I'm sorry, not a professional voice actor.
That's a powerful ass.
Look, and ask your husband. Ask can change his life. Right? But that is the Amazon synopsis of the 5th season by N.K. Jemisin. Jemisin. Yeah, I'll get it right one day. Since it's Black History Month, and this is a book by a Black woman, I feel like this book is very, very poignant for today, especially for today's climate in whitewashing history. A lot of the stuff that goes on in this book, especially about how people view the world, because they are beholden to their stone lore, which is some tens of thousands year old doctrine that they constantly refer to, and it's wrong. it's all wrong. So I really, one of the things I like about this book is even though there are a lot of rock analogies in it, it's very like all the books we read on this is very poignant to today's time. It's when they write these things, they have something in mind. Let's get into it. So Lisa, I know that you had a tough time reading this book. It's not a judgment zone. I'm just, it's just, it is what it is. Give us some of your thoughts on it.
Okay. So it is carefully written, and it's very vivid language, and the characters I think are very well developed, Everyone should go buy it. Support Black authors.
So, Lisa, why do you not like Black women?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's just not for me. Okay. I had my assistant make me some things for this show.
We need to get these cards and digitize them so we can put them up.
Yeah. Yeah. I understand. So intellectually, I understand why it is a bestseller, and I understand why people enjoy this book. Like, I get it. It is very high fantasy. It does what it does. For me personally, I feel like I've read this story several times in several different iterations. Like, it's not anything I haven't read before, but I read a lot, so it would be hard for me to really find something that I've never read before, you know?
I mean, there are only 6 stories in all, and we just tell them over and over again.
Yeah.
Lisa's just telling us how smart she is. God, I know, man.
Yeah, we all know you went to college, Lisa. We get it.
We don't read.
So,
all right.
So I understand. It is a good book. It's well written. I honestly think that it should almost be read in college. Like, I'm surprised that I didn't read it at school. Like, it seems like something I would have read at school. So, and I feel like a lot of my college friends would love it. I told James, my husband, I think he would love it. It's right up his alley. It was not for me. It was, I cannot remember. There are a few scenes that I remember, but I can't even tell you. I don't even know what I fucking read. Like, I couldn't retain any of it because I was just trying to read it and get through it because I don't want to be, you know, the asshole who doesn't read it. I don't believe in that, right? I don't believe in that. So I knew I was gonna, you know, but I'm just like
my black ass who phones it in sometimes. Like, yeah, I totally read this book.
Yeah. So that's all. I mean, yeah. So
right,
that's
I'm not trying to put you on the spot here, but Jason, how many point of view characters are in this book?
One, because like 3 of them are the same person, which I was like, oh, Shyamalan twist. But then I was like, then it makes me feel like I've been bamboozled because I'm like, oh, I'm learning about these people, and I'm so excited, and I'm like, oh, this is what growth looks like. Got it.
That was. Go ahead, Jason. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was going to say like, that is something I did enjoy about it. This was probably way more high fantasy than because I'll admit I don't get as much into high fantasy. I'm very like mediocre fantasy. And so it was
fantasy.
Yeah. Like right across the line. Like when you're about to tip to get high, it's like, whoa. Come back. Be relatable.
I just want to hit this book once and then I'm done.
Right. I don't need to have a conversation about the stars and moons. But I will say this, like, when the book picks up and gets going, it gets going. The problem is that I think it took me a while to get it going. And so I was like, oh, like how Lisa was, because I usually, when, you know, we have these things, I don't want to put my opinion until we get on the show. But when Lisa was saying what she was saying, I'm like, oh, look, at least I won't be the only asshole on the show. That's what I think about. So I was like, thank you, because like as the black guy, I got to kind of support black, and I'm like, oh, but no, I did enjoy it. I think in this book, I don't say the issue because it's just obviously Jason likes it a lot. The thing that I feel is an issue for me is that I felt like the themes of this book were stronger than actually the story and the excitement of the book. If that makes it, like, it felt like you're trying to get across these themes, and I got you, and I'm with you, but I wanted the adventure to feel more adventure-y. I wanted the vibe to feel more, and I get it. I didn't like when I told my wife this. She's like, "Yeah, but that first movie that you like, the first one sucks the worst." And she was talking about Fellowship of the Ring, and I'm like, "Well, actually," and I'm like, "Oh," but she's taking that from me because even I used to say Fellowship is the slowest one to me. And so I kind of, when I put it in that perspective, they go, this is the first book out of a series. I get it. So, I mean, but some of the themes I did enjoy because I did take notes on it that I was like, oh, this is pretty good. I like that, like, you know, the identity of the protagonist isn't the typical quote unquote winning girl. Like from
she's not
the definition.
Chosen one yet. You know, she's
not
right. She's not like other girls. She is like other girls.
Right. So and even like, you know, the whole thing about you said about history, maintaining it, or like the fact that the superficial ideology of history and people not willing to change, but humans do change. And I thought a lot of this stuff works. But I'm sorry, I guess I needed more pew pew for me to be like into it. And it's mine. It's a me thing. This is no. The book. It's a completely utter me thing.
That like this book does not really like get going until like the third half of it.
Yeah, I was like 75% in, and I was just like, okay.
It's a lot of like Lord of the Rings kind of syndrome, where there's a lot of just people walking around for the majority of the book. Is a lot of walking around, and people like, what do you think about this? Well, I think this is a thing, and you know, but once it gets to that last end, it's like, oh, she just built the foundation for this super downer of an ending. And the thing that really I liked it on my first read was the fact that I thought it was 3 different women doing 3 different things for, you know, and I was like, oh, I wonder how all these stories are going to interconnect or intersect eventually. And I was like, oh, they don't, because they already are. It's just one story. And I thought that was pretty neat, because I haven't read a lot of books that use the second person. I guess it's second person. Lisa, you could probably check me on this, where you did this, you're doing this. And like the stuff that I found the most engaging was those passages where it was from that second person. But like also that's the mostly like what the story is like that's the current timeline that, you know, is the most important part, is Isun chasing after her daughter and her murderous husband. Yeah.
That was like very hard for me to read. It could have just been because I don't know, that just the whole beginning was just traumatic to read. Not like hard, like, I mean, it was over descriptive. For me, it was over descriptive, like, you know, because if it takes 6 pages to describe one thing, I want to blow my brains out. But it is beautifully written and it is very detailed. So for me, it was hard traumatically to read about that, and just the agonizing pain that she was in. It was,
I think that's
hard. It was that's
a cool
read.
Part about why it was in that second position, the second person, is because like you kind of like have to internalize it, because it's saying that you are doing these things, right?
Yeah.
So like, it's kind of making it more traumatic than, rather than being like a spectator watching something happen to, you know, like you're watching stuff happen to Demaya and Cyanite, but you're actually like inside the head of poor Isun, who just lost a child, you know, after her husband like brutally beat him to death and then stole your daughter. So it's like, I get the fact that you can get some trauma out of that, because it's, and as you said, it's very descriptive. It's very like methodical in its use of language to like put you in those shoes. So it's affecting in that way, I think.
So I have to ask, like, have you read the books after this already?
I have read the second book. I have not finished the series yet. I had to put it down and give it a pause for a second.
Do you have to put it in the freezer? That's a Brent's reference.
She's not a beloved female member of my family that I need to have character development from, so I didn't put her in the fridge.
Well, I always ask because like she damn near in her 40s, like in this book. Like, how many more adventures she gonna be?
Well, this is the last adventure. She's got one important thing to do, and that's because I know that at the end of this book they explain what's missing in their world, which is the moon. And basically at the end of the second book, she realized like, oh, I gotta catch that motherfucker and put that back. So that's where basically the story is going to lead to, whereas her daughter was her father eventually gives her over to a guardian who's teaching her like the opposite of that.
Yeah.
Right.
So
well, and like always, I mean, I stress this a lot in all the reviews we do for the book club. Like, it is still just something refreshing to have books and fantasy and horror and sci-fi and stuff made with like people that look like me in mind, even from just the names, the cities, the towns. Like, it's just something refreshing. And I mean, that's always the biggest thing I get out of the club is that, like, and I know this is why we kind of created it, but still, like, it's always just nice because even in between these books, I read other novels and books that don't have any of us in it at all. And doing that gives me this stark contrast of like how much more relatable it is when it's our people in there. And it just makes you feel like, okay, we know representation matters. We know different voices matter, but it's almost like it's very, very important. It's extremely important because like these things feel closer to our reality, even though it's a fantasy, it still feels closer to something in us than anyway. So anyway, like I said, I just think,
is this what white dudes feel all the time? Really?
Right.
No wonder they keep fighting for like none of this shit. Like,
right. It's like my whole ideology of like one day when I finally travel to Africa and probably go to Ghana or Nigeria, like it's going to be a freak out moment for me to look around and just see nothing. Everybody looks like me because it's very little places that I've worked, lived in society in America that everything looks and represents me. So reading these books, it feels that way. It feels like, oh my God, like it's great. Like I can imagine all this taking place in the Middle East or in Africa or different places where we've been, or South America, etc. Even though these places are not on Earth, but you get my point. Like it feels like this is just something that like I just not used to experiencing. So
also the things I like about these kind of books is like, we talk about this a lot about the Black experience and Black trauma. This book does well to explain Black trauma without it being like, my granddaddy got shot by the Ku Klux Klan, this book is like Black trauma, the book, right?
Yeah.
It's all about, it's all about like how society have, used and abused people, how they have demonized them and monsterized them, but still find them necessary for their society. And how that affects people, like how that affects that person's mentality. And like, for a lot, it's like, Cyanide believes she is a monster because she has been led to believe by the society that she lives in that she is nothing but a monster. And the best thing she can do is use her body for the society and then die. Yeah. And like, obviously I've never been a slave before in my life, but I have ancestors who were, and that is exactly their experience. And that's exactly how they kept people who was enslaved, was by, making them believe that they were nothing better than a tool to be used. And their only lot in life was to be used up and then die. And like this book really, really like hammers that home. It's very like a hard rock over the head with that, if you get the rock metaphor, because there's a lot of rock metaphors in this book. Because if you don't know, like in this book, there are people who are able to control basically the movements of the earth with their mind, and they are very powerful because they could erupt a volcano or cause a earthquake that could end up killing a lot of people. We never did the one sentence review, by the way.
I did have a good one too.
Me too. I had a great one. We'll do it at the end. We'll switch to it. We can do whatever. It's our show. We can do whatever we want. But the one thing I did find very, very prescient for like the immediate now is the whitewashing of the history, because they tell a story like twice in this book about the first Raga or who tries to kill the emperor, right? And like in the beginning of the book, they tell the Guardian tells Damaya the story as a way to tell her that she is nothing more than a monster and she will always just be a tool for the emperor, where this crazed person who can control mountains has come to kill the emperor for no good reason other than the fact that he's there. And this brave woman stood up and killed this monster. And, that's how the empire started. And that's why you are in the position that you are in. But we find out later on, the reason why that dude was doing that, while he was even mad at the emperor, is because they ate his kids. and they just left that part out that these people are fucking cannibals. And that's you know, and then they've propagated this whole entire system off of the backs of these people, and by demonizing them when they were the bad guys to begin with.
Yeah.
And like, you know, that's very
sounds familiar.
Yeah. You know, if you skank out the bad parts, you know, what's left is nothing. But yeah, I feel like that part of the book was, and I had to read it twice because, you know, I was like, what? Because that first time I didn't catch what had happened. I was like, oh shit. No wonder he was so mad.
Well, and then also it seems, well, to a degree, that theme of what we just spoke about, it Children of Blood and Bone had a similar, like, oh, you the guys are the bad guys. No, you guys are the bad guys. And the story was, you know, not somewhere between. We know who the bad guys were. But like, even in that one, like, I guess I'm seeing a trend here in a lot of the ideology that we've had so far. Now, Ryan Douglas's book dealt with more of the homosexual queer experience with ancestry and etc. But it was just interesting to see Children of Blood and Bone. Like, it's this premise of how history affects to the present day, and how the present day's actions are going to shape the next future. But all of these actions are still reverting back to the root source of an issue that planted this out. Now, I know we could say, yeah, that's a lot of the Black experience in America. That's a lot of the Black experience all across the world, that some igniting thing happened that pretty much has permeated and has never stopped the flow of, like, you know, figuring it out. So I don't know. I just thought it was reading this book. I felt those similarities of, oh, that's interesting, this through line here. But again, like I said, I didn't dislike the book. It wouldn't be something that I would, like Children of Blood and Bone, I've told news people to read. This is something that I'm have to be like, oh, you like this and like that, like that? Oh, okay, I have a book for you. This wouldn't be one I would go out and just say, hey, read this, because then they would probably like, why did you give me this like journal to read and throw it back at me? So
this is more like for your avid readers. You're not your casual reading people who are like, I read a book, you know, every now and then. I like a good word TV every now and then. Now this is where you're like, I read 5 books a year or 15 books a month. Give me something else to read. You're like, okay, you can probably digest this.
Lisa,
yeah, except for Lisa.
Like, nah, I'm not here for that.
As long as they're not a English major, they'll be fine.
Well, I think that it would be. I think that this is a book that they should be reading in school and dissecting chapter by chapter, because so much happens.
Well, they're definitely not going to read this in Florida. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. But that's the thing. It is something that I feel like I kind of want to email my old professors about and be like, hey, have you read this book? Because it is definitely something that I feel like I would have read in school, and then really just like number one, talk about the author. And
there's a map.
Yeah, you didn't see it.
I
on the first page when I opened my book, but because I think it deserves to be that. I think that is almost how it was written to be. I don't think it was written to be consumed. Yes, I think it was to be digested and to really like see, and you can see the layers and you can talk about, and then and I was just trying to read it, and I already said, it felt like I was in school, and there was going to be a quiz, and I was going to fail, and I already failed.
There is a quiz.
Question about POV.
I have a quiz already. That's just only one question.
So and I just was like, am I reading this wrong? And but I do think that should be something that they're studying, and so.
There's also one more thing I want to talk about. Let's talk about your boy Alabaster for a second here, because we're talking about we're talking about Demaya, Isan, and Cyanide. But I feel like, because obviously Lisa had a different opinion of this guy than I did, but I'm not going to say that her opinion is wrong in any sense. I think she's actually quite valid in her opinion of him. Like, he is not. I wouldn't say he's the worst. But he's not And this is kind of what I like his character. He's not the traditional like you know, in like a lot of these fantasy books, you have your female antagonist and you have your male counterpart. And I feel like where Cyanide is kind of like rigid and trying to keep herself together, like Alabaster has already let himself fall apart, right? And a lot of his sort of actions come from the fact that he is simply a broken man who's afraid of everything. And even though he has the power to destroy a civilization, which he does at the beginning of this book, he is like he's a wimp.
Yes. Yeah.
And like not to disparage, because you know obviously in this book his sexuality is not, you know, on a binary scale here. But yeah, he definitely has a lot of moments where you're like, oh yeah, he's gonna come in and save the day, and he's like, nope, I'm out of here. Like I can help in this situation, but I choose not to.
Well, hold on, Lisa, what is your feelings about Alibi? Because I didn't.
He's like I don't even think I mean, I'm not convinced. I just said, I think the word I used was whipping boy. Like he's literally just there like to be a vessel for people to just like fuck over. And so it was just like I felt like no pity for him because he had no spine, and like because he clearly has these deep feelings, because you know, just in the scene where he's excited for, I'm so bad with names, but what's her name crawls in bed and they're, you know, like, and they're finally touching and that's what he wants, but then the pirate gets in bed and is just like fucking him, and he's just like, guess I'll take it. Like he doesn't even want it. He literally is saying he has no choice, but it doesn't feel like they're saying that to him, you know? So it doesn't seem like the other two set that tone for him, but he's just like, nope, I guess he's just like, I wish he would just hurry up, or I wish he would stop. And it's like, bro, I feel like they all understand consent. You know, they don't seem like unreasonable people. And then he says, like, I want to tell, whenever what's her name wants to leave to go on the ship, he says, I want to tell you, like, I want to tell you that I don't want you to go, but he never says I don't want you to go. Like, so
he never stands up and says what he wants to say, or does what he wants to do, except for in the beginning of the book.
Yeah, so it's just kind of like one of those, like, I don't know. I just couldn't figure out what purpose he served other than watching the baby. Like,
nope, he didn't do that very well.
But you know what I mean? Like that, like, I feel like if he could have gotten pregnant, he would have, and just stay. I don't know.
I think, and this is just, you know, my interpretation of it. I think what he represented was the breaking of the black spirit, right? Like how it could go wrong. Because as I said, he is probably the single most powerful being on the planet at this point. And yet he feels like he is completely powerless to affect his life in any meaningful way. Like he is completely like, it's like, how do I describe it? It's like society has ground him down into nothing.
No, yeah, I get it.
And that's his purpose. Like that he is like how black people have felt for the last 400 years. He is the end result of a system and society that has treated him nothing more than a brute. Whereas Cyanide, because this is the main friction between Cyanide and Alabaster, is the fact that she still had this illusion of self in her mind that she was doing the right thing or whatever, and she wasn't just a tool. Whereas Alabaster has completely been, you know, dismayed of that idea. He has no hope left, right? And even when they are living on the island with Inan and stuff, and they have that baby, and they've been free for like, you know, 2 or 3 years, he still realizes like he can't let himself enjoy it, right? Because he's been so abused by the system. So like I feel like that's kind of his purpose, just like to be, he's the whipping boy. You're right. He's 100%. But like, that's his character. Like,
and I think it's just like he's such a joy sucker. Like, I don't know. The whole book
he
was
sucks
just
the joy out of everything.
I was just like sad the whole time, and I'm just like, I like to be happy when I read. Right. Sad the whole time.
Because that's what I was looking down because I had notes on that too as well, and I was like, oh, like I almost a little similar to Jason. I think my whole swerve on it was that I felt that he always tried to fit into the narrative of what everybody thought he should or would be, instead of being what he could be. Yeah. And I think, like you said, some of that urgency was taken from him, but some of it was just his way of allowing himself to always be around. And I felt like that was the pulling force in him. When I wrote my note, I'm like, oh, he just wants to be around. And like you said, he's negative. He's bringing other, but like you said, if he actually believed in himself, as cheesy as that sounds, you're right. He could be the most powerful person there, but I never really thought about it in the demasculation thought process of the black. I didn't even put that together, but when you said it, I was like, oh, damn, like he's right. Like it definitely is but yeah, it definitely felt to me that it's just like, we've all had people around us in our lives that have always played roles just to stay in our lives. Or hell, sometimes we've even done that to stay in certain people's lives. And I felt like he was the living embodiment of like, don't leave. But also, like you said, like Lisa, I was waiting for the heroic
I ain't gonna
turn.
change,
Like,
but don't leave.
Right, yeah. I was waiting for the turn where he was going to be like, and it was like, all right, no, this is your moment. No.
And even the ending when they're finally attacked by the Fulcrum, and he does the cowardly thing and tries to protect them rather than letting them go fight, which totally fucks them up. And it's like, yo, if you had done nothing, they would have had a chance, right? Like, if you had not done anything at all, they would have they would have been able to sink those ships and everybody would have lived. But no, because you were too afraid of losing people, because you were too afraid of not, of love or whatever, you basically fucked them over.
Yeah.
And I was like, I yelled at him. I said, Alabaster, I yelled. You're doing the wrong thing, sir. But, that's I don't know, maybe it's a mark of a good character that makes you feel something about them passionately. If whether you hate them or like them, it's better than being meh.
Yeah.
So take the good.
That's how I feel about Michael B. Jordan. I was like,
Look, Creed 3, he'll get knocked out.
Oh yeah, he should definitely get Clarba Lane for sure. When you one sentence, or just go to the end, or what do you want to do here?
Oh, I would like to do my one sentence review, so let's go ahead, because we can also get to the rating system after the one sentence review as well. So, Lisa, if you don't mind, please go ahead with your one sentence review, please.
One sentence review. Support women, support Black people, support Black women. Go buy this book. However, it's just not for me.
Jason, your one sentence review.
Yes. With all these rocks in this book, nobody was named Dwayne.
That's a good one. For me, here we go. We built this city. We built this city on rocks and slavery.
Nice.
Facts.
So let's go on to our rating system. If you don't know, now you know. We have a rating system. If we think something is good, we give it a head. If we think something is mid, we give it a cannon. If we think something is garbage, we give it a circus. Lisa, on the story of this, what would you rate this?
Story.
Be honest. It's okay.
I know. I'm just trying to think of what I would consider a story. The story.
Not enough Black people watch this to cancel you. So.
It's canon. It's canon.
Canon for you. All right, Jason.
Oh man, I thought I had time for this too. I'm going to go Circus because it just took too long for me.
I'm going to agree with Lisa and go with canon. It does take a while to get the story going, so yeah. If you have patience, it's a good payoff. But it's 2023. Who has patience nowadays?
I have none.
Characters, the 3 that there are in this book. What would you give this, Lisa?
Characters are canon, I guess.
Okay. Jason?
I'll give it head. The swerve got me, so I'll give it head.
Yeah, I think the twist at the end is definitely what endeared this book to me. So I'm definitely going to give it a head. And for the third thing is, since it's Black History Month, I'm going to say, talk about race relations, but use a rock analogy. Lisa.
No. Absolutely no.
Okay.
Nope.
Jason?
If a black person and a white person get together, I would ask, do you smell what the rock is cooking? There you go. There's my rock analogy.
My one analogy for this is like race relations in this country is like Sisyphus pushing the rock up the hill, except for there's actually people pushing the rock back down the hill and then telling Sisyphus that the rock doesn't exist. So,
wow.
Cool.
Man, this that went just as deep as this book did, man. You should write the 6th season by Jason.
Like, you see, Plymouth Rock. We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us.
Or rather was pushed on us by your
by Sisyphus. Overall rating from 1 to 5, 1 being garbage to 5 being the best book you've ever read in your life. Obviously, these numbers do not correlate to anything else that we ever said. What would you rate this book, Lisa?
3.
3. Mid.
Could have thought about it, Lisa. Also, I love how Ron is as you so shook now that you have to be like, oh, these numbers don't correlate to anything.
Well, because I never thought about it either, but it fucked me up too. Because then I was like, wait a second, I would be changing everything.
They're completely arbitrary. I'm not comparing 4s to different 4s.
Yeah, but I think he was just like so pressed that I didn't love Alien.
I'm going to give this a 2.5.
Well, I'm going to disagree with both of you and give it a 4. I really, really enjoyed this book once it got going, but that's just my opinion. All right. That's it. That's all we had today.
Cool.
Guys.
I mean, I would have gave her a 3, but she didn't answer Lisa's email. So
yeah. What would y'all have said to her if she was here?
On the internet,
yeah. Oh, I'd have kept it real with her, but like, hey, look here.
This shit.
Do these sequels get faster? Like, I need 2 towers for the next book. Like,
there's a lot of sitting around and talking in the next one.
Oh, okay. So they just stopped walking. They got tired of walking and sat.
Yeah. Cool. Then now they're in a place, and then they just stay there. But then you get, since there's no more of the 3-person thing, you get a 2-person thing between Issa and her daughter, and like what they're both going through, and and the dad who's like, I love my baby girl, but she a monster. I don't know.
Hope he says it just like that. When I read
she
it, I think
of
it
streets.
That way.
She too fast. She's making these rocks move.
Jason's picking the next book, right? Because we've all 3 picked one now.
Yeah, I believe Jason.
Oh, I don't pick books. I just let you guys pick.
Oh,
you picked Dungeons and Do-Rags, one of my favorite books of the year, right here by Mr. Ron Dawson.
Yeah, you are correct.
Okay.
But no, I don't have anything, so I forfeit my go. And Lisa, you can jump right into it.
Gay werewolves, let's go.
Let's go.
I'm not opposed.
Here for it.
See, whereas Jason and I just bring the heterosexual black thing, Lisa's like, no, there are other spectrums out there, and we're going to find them all.
Yeah, I've already been Googling like black LGBTQ authors. I'm like, come on. Look,
as long as they have a pirate polycule, I'm all for it.
I did have not saying I'm suggesting this. I did have because I haven't read it. It was a book I ordered that I think it was by an Indian woman that she wrote it, but I have to find it and know what it is. So I'll probably not this round, but the next round.
Was
it romance? Was it romance?
No, I think it's adventure.
Oh,
I don't really read too much romance.
Okay, because if we can read Indian women, I got you guys.
We're not.
Oh yeah, I mean it's people of color, so yeah, it's people of color, so it doesn't have to be black. It's just people of color we've been trying to highlight in the genre because they don't get a lot of highlighted interest.
Okay, I can do that.
Oh man, this just opens up Lisa's story even more now.
Like I just like let me just go through my library and see what
the doors have been open. I just thought it had to be black people, but no.
Yes. Got it.
You're about to read.
Have we decided what we're going to do next week? Any suggestions for next week?
Let's push the cleaner, and because didn't you have games for us?
Yes, today? I forgot about that.
The M. Night
I was going to make it short today because I was so late.
Okay.
The M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Knock on the Cabin or Cabin Knocking Out
today. So
okay.
I feel like that and the cleaner should be enough because if we do something else, we're gonna push the cleaner again.
Oh, it was something somebody told me I should or we should watch because they said Lisa will like it. Was it Triple R?
The Indian movie on Netflix.
Yeah, they said because it's pretty much like a live action anime. How wild and crazy it is.
There is a dance fight scene in the middle of it where they dance.
Yeah.
Where him and his best buddy dance off against these British guys, and like it's epic. I haven't seen it yet, but I've seen like clips of it. It looks pretty fun.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, Lisa will love this." I'm like, "Why would she love this movie?" They're like, "Oh, because she likes anime." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. Like I like anime too. You didn't think I would love this?"
My show.
But anyway,
it's my show.
Yeah, right.
No,
that is
Jason,
true.
You're just here.
Right.
It's her show. We are the Pips now, Jason.
Yes, we did also give Jason a break from anime, so I'll have to start. I did rewatch the first season of Death Note. And have you seen Death Note, Jason?
I've seen some of the anime, and then I've watched the terrible movie too. So
okay.
But the movie sucks.
I'm sure,
even though it had Lakeith Stanfield in it, I couldn't fuck with it.
First of all, I forgot how old that first season was. Like it's old, like it's been out for a minute. Yeah, but it's so good. It's so good.
Death Note just ends so.
It's mad.
Just wild.
Yeah.
It just ends so wild that I love it. It's one of my favorite anime.
How do you end it? It's like one of those things. It's just so crazy.
The new Trigun is coming out soon, and I'm like, we gotta save time for that. Well, you don't like Trigun?
The problem always, the only problem with all anime is that like it's so long.
So long.
so long.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad that we did Chainsaw Man at the beginning, so we could just watch a few episodes and.
I gotta go back and watch
decide if we're gonna
finish watching Chainsaw Man.
Keep watching. It's good. I like it. I'm still watching it. You know what I'm not watching? Cannon Blast.
No.
Whatever the fuck that show's called. Nope.
Dude, the theme song is fucking fire. It's like y'all could have come with the same energy into the show as you did in the theme song. This would be the greatest anime of all time.
Attack on Titan should be ending soon, if not already ended.
I'm like 3 seasons behind.
Well, as I was saying, we can like slowly pace our way through one season in review, then slowly pace our way through another season in review.
While we're at it, we can do One Piece as well. Just 800 episodes.
No. Well, if One Piece ended, yes, I would say we can slowly pace our way through 20 seasons over the lifetime of this show.
I guess when the Winchester's over, we can do that too.
We can do one episode of One Piece, and hopefully we'll have
on the Winchesters.
1,000 episodes.
Okay, real quick. I want to talk about just. Do you guys have just a few minutes for us to talk about
all the time?
This is what I'm doing tonight.
Teen Wolf. So I haven't watched a Teen Wolf movie yet, because I wanted to rewatch the show, and MTV. I mean, that's a pretty good show. Like, I mean, it's not a great show, okay, but we're talking about a show that came on in like the early 2000s, mid to early 2000s. Like, they have a good budget.
Production quality was good.
The production quality is really impressive. I'm watching it like, holy shit. And they do pull the Buffy thing, but they do have like queer characters. And like,
they're like, oh,
and they kill them, and then they do have black characters, and they kill them. And
you guys gonna kiss? You two dudes gonna kiss your gods? You're dead.
Yeah.
Seeing with 2.0, that the gay guy lives, the gay black guy at that.
If you're black and gay, you're gonna live.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you're talking about in the fourth season.
Oh yeah, I called it 2.0 because they like got rid of like half the old cast.
Yes. Yeah,
and brought in a whole new cast.
That's when Dylan O'Brien got famous, and he was like, "I'm done."
Yeah.
No, he was still hanging on by thread by then, but yeah, for the most part, yeah.
But like it for the show, I'm watching it. I'm like, wow, I didn't even realize. Like, and they like have like these gay characters, and it's like not a whole thing. It's not a whole storyline. Like they just exist, and then they have these
like gay people
black characters, yeah, and they just exist. I mean, they did Boyd dirty. We all know, like literally, they could have Boyd could have been a badass, and then they did him dirty. But like all shows do, they kill him there.
So, Lisa, what I'm hearing from you is not this coming up week, but maybe next week, week after next, we do a Teen Wolf, what's it called? Not a respective, a Teen Wolf reflection on Teen Wolf, and Teen Wolf the movie, maybe.
Oh, like you talking about Teen Wolf, Michael J. Fox?
No, well.
Oh, and then Teen Wolf the show, and then Teen Wolf the movie.
Let's do all three. It's our show. We can do whatever we want. Let's watch Teen Wolf the movie, the Michael J. Fox one. Let's watch the show, and let's watch the new movie.
But it's like 5 seasons of the show, 5, 6.
That's why I'm saying like not obviously next week.
The first 3 seasons are very short. They're only 10 episodes, but
I mean, I rewatched it like maybe a year ago.
So you're good. I haven't
2
seen
years
it in
ago.
years.
Yeah. Don't watch the movie. Oh my god! I thought you had saw it.
I haven't seen it yet.
No, this is what it's about. This is what the show is about.
I heard Kira's not in the movie, and I know Styles isn't.
Well,
we're gonna get when we get there.
Okay.
We're gonna get there when we get there. We're gonna get there when we get there.
It did come on Paramount Plus.
But I am impressed with the show. Just like it's not making like the joke, like the misogynistic jokes like shows were at that time, and like I think it was a little bit ahead of its time. Almost,
it ages well. Is what you're saying.
It does age well. Yes,
it's like a fine wine.
I mean, and Lydia's fine, so that always helps.
Jesus, she is so beautiful. Like, I remember when I was watching it, like being so sad that like Allison dies, and now I'm like, when does this bitch die? I'm tired of looking at her. Give me more Lydia.
Retrospective.
Because it's season 3 that she bites the dust, right?
No.
Yeah, because that's.
You talking about Allison?
Yeah.
She's still alive, and I'm in season 4, and she's still alive.
For real?
Kira and Allison exist in the same season, and I thought that they died separately. But
because I thought the year when the what is it, the trickster thing was the one when she died. What?
That's season 4. That's what I'm in right now.
Oh, okay. Then sorry, I have a season ahead. Okay.
Yeah. So and then
and who was the villain in 3 then? Was it Peter again? Or was that the Alpha?
The Alpha.
Yeah, that Team Alpha. Yeah.
I can't think
of Alpha. See, I only watched the first season.
Picard.
Duquesnian.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah.
And they used to do the swivel thing as the sign. Yeah.
And then and then Isaac, I completely forgot about Isaac. Like I forgot he was even a character. Yeah.
He just dips next season. They're like, he's gone.
Like big character than nothing. It's like you've been making Scott Alpha this whole time, and now where are you at?
Like, he returned to his home planet, so he's
right. He's smoochy. Like, hey, welcome in, Liam.
First season.
I want to say that that Teen Wolf came on at a time that like something like iconic also started at the same time. So I was like, oh my, like Game of Thrones or something stupid like that was at the same time, and I was like, oh. There it goes, out my mind. Or I lost cable or something. I was on MTV. I don't got MTV no more.
Yeah. No, the second season is very good.
Yeah, it's good.
It's like
let's do a retrospective.
Okay, just tell me what that means, and then I will.
Yeah. You're the one that went to college.
I love it too. They're like, they just let go. Isaac was like, hey, Liam, welcome.
Yeah.
Like it's just like seamless. He just brings him in. It's like, new beta.
Yeah.
That's the best way to introduce a character. Just like, he's been here the whole entire time. Y'all remember Leo?
Look, the best example of ever doing that is Dawn on Buffy. Because even the audience are like, what? What is sister? What?
I specifically remember that episode and going like, she had assistants the entire time? Like, what the fuck is going on?
Yes.
Because like season 4 ends with her yelling at Dawn, and you're like, And then now when you can watch it all together instead of waiting a whole summer,
Yeah.
it's like, man, that was really good. But they just slid that in, and it was like everybody thought that she was real and exactly like she. And you're like, as the audience, like, what the hell is going on?
Well, I remember when I was watching it, thinking, did she mention that she had a half sister with her dad? And I'm like trying to, like, oh my God, did she have a half sister? We didn't know about it. Like,
she's been in middle school the whole entire time. Like, where's she been?
They did a good job gaslighting us. Of course, it's Joss Whedon. What else would he do?
That's very, very true. Very, very true.
And they had a rule that Michelle Trachtenberg could not be in the same room with Joss Whedon by herself.
Because wasn't season 5 also? Hold on, because Glory was season 4. No, season 5.
Glory is the same season as Dawn. That's all this.
Yeah, so season 5 when it should have ended, but it didn't. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. But is it also season 5 the same season where Joyce dies?
Yes.
Yeah.
And a spoiler for anybody who hasn't seen Buffy for
come on,
30-year-old show, guys.
Yeah.
Also, what's his face? The dude that plays Dewey in Scream. David Arquette.
David Arquette
in the movie.
Right.
That's dirty. That movie isn't even a year old, Jason.
The reason why I bring that up because I remember that the death of Joyce. It because I'm a huge Superman fan. I remember it being like a Superman-esque death. Mm-hmm. Like the one thing he couldn't do was stop Pa Kent, because in some of it, like Pa Kent has a heart attack, and Superman just couldn't stop it. And it was just one of those things where they're like searching for like the supernatural thing that might have killed her, and it's like
it was just like a stroke or something.
Yeah. And then they even do like the whole bring her back and like the zombie choices. Like it's just so much goodness in there. And I remember watching that episode being like, this may be the most amazing piece of television I've probably ever really seen. From just the quiet notes to all of it, it just seemed really good anyway.
That season is,
and also with that one is like also like in that time in my mind frame, it was like, oh, they're definitely gonna find a way to bring her back to life. I mean, like, characters don't die. She's been on the show for 5 seasons. She's not dead. Mm-hmm. And it was like, oh no, she's dead, and like nothing happened. She just died.
Yeah.
And like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Josh.
Right.
And then it was the same thing when Tara died. I thought for sure they're going to bring Tara back. Like, Willow's this badass witch, like they learned from Joyce and
the dumbest way to die too, man. Straight
yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
From the lamest characters. Oh god.
Yeah.
I'm glad he got filleted alive by Willow. I'm like, good for you, honey.
Even more by erasure right there. So.
It is funny. I remember like it being because that's when like message boards were really becoming a huge thing too in the Buffy era. But I just always remember like every season they were like, "Oh, the big man's gonna turn out to be Buffy's dad." And like every season, everybody because they're like, "Yeah, you're right. You don't hear anything about Buffy's dad ever."
You just did one child support check, nothing.
nothing.
He was in one episode in season 1. When he comes back for some, I don't know, but that's it.
Yeah. He's like, and then he's in one of the episodes where the whole existence of the Buffy universe is actually in Buffy's mind, and she's in the psych ward.
Oh yeah,
you see
that's
his face.
Such a
one
great
point.
episode.
Yeah.
And also, I can't remember what season. I think it might be season 3 or 4. It's when Buffy's in college, where like the whole episode, not a single word is spoken.
Oh, silence.
Yes.
Hush.
I was about to mention
with
that
the creepiest that's my characters
episode.
of all time.
The dudes that are just sitting there. Oh my god.
Yeah. The creepiest villains of all time.
That episode is even still. I rewatch that every once in a while, and I'm like,
that I don't want to watch it because it scared the shit out of me.
Also, the sidebar of that, like, so we know, like, oh yeah, if you die as the Slayer, a new Slayer is born, blah blah blah, or at least the powers transfer because you're not even born, like you're
already
potential. Yeah, like wouldn't that same rule apply for the Avatar? Like if they were to die, and wouldn't it like? But if they revive them after they have died.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying, but like because the other thing that happens is Rava goes to the next vessel.
Yeah, they got to get reincarnated though, so they got to be born. So it's just
that's the thing. Like the lore is that it's just Rava. Rava just goes into the reincarnation of him. But so if they were to die 5 minutes and get revived, but let's say at that point Rava's already bounced, like would that person still have avatar powers?
You're broken. I'm out.
right. You know what I'm saying? Like at a certain point, Rava can't just be sitting in like, I guess it's been 5 days. I guess I'll leave now. Like eventually he's going to leave, right, and go somewhere else. So would the person, like let's say if Aang was revived or Korra was revived, would they have still avatar powers? Because that was permanent on.
No,
like
I don't think so.
They never in that universe give anybody CPR. So
hold on, but this is the thought, because this is why I think it's more confusing to know. Wong was able, the first Avatar, Wong was able to learn all the elemental powers without Rava being in him.
Yeah.
When she got in him, it was able to make him go to the Avatar state. So that Aang, let's say Aang dies, she leaves. Shouldn't he be able, if he got revived, to still bend all the elements? He just wouldn't be able to go Avatar state or connect to the future, the past incarnations.
This is what we
okay, so because
not it too hard, my friend.
Okay, because the Avatar. So you have unlocked that part of your mind that lets you learn all of the different elements. Let's say,
right.
So that becomes a muscle memory. So of course, if it were Aang, so say we're talking about Aang, he would 100% still know how to airbend because he's an airbender.
Right.
And then based on, I would think, because it's just part of your mind. So everybody has the ability. No.
I think Rava's a god and knows when you're going to die. So when you die, she's like, this is it. You're not getting brought back. Deuces. I'll see you in your next life. Bye-bye.
No, I don't think so.
Well, if she knew that, she would have, like, the bad guys were going to do what they were going to do. And, like,
I don't think so.
She doesn't, like, only time that she ever talks to the Avatar is when Korra did it, when she got ripped out of her. She's not, like, sitting there going, hey, by the way, this is it.
I think they would still have all their bending powers, but they would not be able to reach the Avatar state and talk to previous
past selves.
Yes.
I think
then I think they would get reincarnated.
I don't know. I just thought about it because I'm like, that's what happened with Buffy to Faye. Oh, Buffy to Kendra. We forget about Kendra. Was the stopgap
Kendra was the best one.
Yeah, Kendra, I know, right?
Kendra, who is also in like every TV show ever created, and who's also in Teen Wolf.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
she is.
She's like playing a teenager one day. She's playing.
She played a teenager for 30 years.
An adult the next day. Like a fucking tween one day, and I'm like, damn, she in everything on the CW.
No, we know what's going to happen. We're going to put out that clip about the Avatar, and the nerdy Avatar is going to. Well, actually, Wanda.
I just said, well, actually. I literally just said it. And y'all just like, no, that's not it.
Yeah. We're used to you being Alabaster, so we just ignored you and kept going.
Like, no,
I did not say that. I did not say that.
Don't compare me to him. I wish I had his power, but
I did not say that.
Volcanoes!
Oh, jeez.
Well, that's all right. That was just a random thought I had.
Thought.
Random, some cannon fodder.
What's the dude's name that created an Avatar? He's there. You can text him and ask him. So if Korra drowns and she officially dies, her heart stops.
She should not drown. She's a waterbender. Like, I do not accept those terms.
If she falls off a cliff and her heart stops, I don't know. Like, she's also like, there's no way to think of that she could, like, her heart would stop without her bending powers being able to prevent it, in my mind. Because she knows how to lightning bend.
Yeah.
So if she gets hit with lightning, the heart, I got that. She can't drown. She can't get choked out like what Zaire did to the Earth Queen.
Earth Queen, right.
Okay, listen. She probably, all these things probably can happen, but
only thing that can happen is she gets her ass beat by Quivira. That's like that's her weakness is hands.
That's just one of those we just have to. Yeah, I mean,
weakness is hands. Okay, I can vibe on that. Weakness is hands.
Corvira was like, "Oh yeah, I'm about to beat this bitch up." I'm about to beat this. Oh, you want to fight? Okay.
Cora still had a mental block. 2, Corvira had all the advantage because she had like all the shit on her already. Like, Cora was just out there like in a dirty shirt and some gloves. It was like, let's fight.
But it's just funny because like it's not like Corvira's like, oh shit, the Avatar's coming. Let me prepare for this. She's like, oh yeah, bring her over here. I'm about to beat her ass. Take off my earrings.
It was straight like Troy Achilles style. Like, yeah, I'm gonna beat you in front of all these motherfuckers. And like, what you gonna do?
Is this your Avatar?
Right.
Wow.
Had her hung up by the metal cuffs. Like, yeah.
Just beat her
and
ass.
that was a tough L for Cora, bro. That was a tough L for Cora.
That was worse than Zaire. At least Zaire can fly.
Cora do be taking a bunch of L's. Like, I rock with Cora.
That's
she's my favorite
Avatar. Her whole entire arc.
She gets beat up all the time. She literally just losing. That's her entire arc.
Losing. Straight L's, bro.
Maybe I shouldn't lose so much.
Yeah. She doesn't lose gracefully either. She just
loses and breaks up with freaking Mako, and then Mako's like, fuck. And he's like, well, I guess we're broken up. And he goes to Azumi, or what's her name? And then she gets her memories back and like, oh, I just pretend like we weren't broken up. I remember breaking up with you. But now that you're cheating on me, you're a bad person. Mako needs better justice.
Look, Bolin's best boy, and he needs better justice.
Justice for Mako. Oh no, Bolin's the best character of all Avatar.
Yeah, best boy. Yeah. He needs better justice.
Yeah. He's not the best character of all of Avatar.
He's better than Zuko.
No, absolutely not.
Best character,
absolutely not. You were
best character all of Avatars. Obviously, the cabbage guy. Like,
my cabbages.
Yeah, hands down. You went from that to about Legend of Korra came to like building a cabbage empire. That is the guy we need to be watching his whole trial.
He was making cars, like from a cabbage farmer to making cars to an industrialist.
Zuko was the best one, or the
Blue Spirit. Blue Spirit lives on my desk, and only Apex characters live on my desk.
Everybody knows. So. It goes Bolin, Sokka, Appa, Momo,
no,
Korra, Aang,
no,
Toph.
I can't even with you right
Cabbage
now.
Guy.
I don't even know who you are. Guy. I don't even know who you are.
Azula. Right now. Then Zuko.
Are we even friends? This is just the most.
I can't believe Cabbage Guy got number 8.
I've ever heard of.
Freaking.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot.
What's the forest?
What about
that was in season in the first the dude that lived in the forest with the other kids? The one kid was in the wheelchair.
Jet.
He's above Zuko too.
Fuck you. I can't even.
I'm sorry she didn't put Ty Lee up there, man.
Oh, there we go. Throw her up there.
Ty Lee is badass. Like, honestly.
Ty Lee's a beast. I know.
She's
amazing.
It's
like that skit with Key and Peele for the Gremlins 2. It's like, you just said a word and now it's in the movie. You name a character, he's above Zuko.
No. You're crazy.
Hold on, then what's your list, Lisa? So Zuko.
It's Zuko.
Zuko is the best.
Zuko.
Listen,
the best 5 characters.
Zuko, I love fire. Uncle Iroh.
Yeah. He's above Zuko too.
Shit, I can't even.
Iroh may be the best character of all of Avatar.
I think so. I'm
Iroh may be.
Dude, the song.
I mean, Iroh might be above Zuko. You're right. Like
that Boston Say episode.
Yes. Oh.
Just
I cry every time I watch that episode.
Yes, singing that song. Every once in a while, that song will pop up. Like I'll see it like randomly, and I'm just like,
yeah.
So it's Uncle Iroh is he's probably above Zuko. I love Zuko. I love Toph.
Toph's awesome.
Toph is just so fucking cool.
Bad mom, pretty cool character.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's probably then Korra, and then
I love how Aang's not on anybody's list.
I mean, the problem with Aang is he's a kid.
He's a child,
like you only know him as a child, and he's very childlike, pretty much the whole show. So
I just don't fuck with Aang because he should have killed the Fire Lord. Fuck that. Kill that dude, man.
Yeah,
that's what.
Look at the torment he's caused. He's wiped out your whole people.
It's back to Batman not killing the Joker.
Genociders, they get they get the smack.
Speaking of Iroh, I mean, always my favorite part of the whole show, where it brings my tears out, is when him and Zuko reunite, and like he's trying to get it out, and he's like doesn't let him, and he just hugs him. I'm like, just pouring. I'm like, oh my god, this character arc is so good.
Even when go ahead, Lisa.
I was just gonna say, because especially for like Zuko, everyone his whole life has just like treated him like shit, and he's like lived and he's always just like expecting rejection. So he's like coming to his uncle expecting rejection, but he's still trying to apologize, and Uncle Iroh is like just hugs him and loves him and doesn't even let him apologize because there's and I'm just like, oh my god.
I mean, you can make an argument that Iroh's pretty much his father at this point.
He's way better than his dad.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't even know how they even came from the same family. That's your brother?
Yeah.
Well, you can see it's just Iroh changed his ways because he got disgraced and lost his son, and he changed his ways. I'm pretty sure Iroh was probably
but even then, before he lost his son, he was still part of the White Lotus, wasn't he?
I think he was always. I think he was always a member of the White Lotus.
Yeah,
I think that was like he was always kind of like an undercover.
I think he's just been more open about it after he lost his son.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, like, even the episode in Korra where he she visits him in the spirit world. I was like, that dude, just come on.
Yeah. It's so good.
Yeah.
So good.
He's everybody's uncle for sure.
Yes. My uncles are all like that. No offense, Uncle Greg and Uncle Murray. I love you both. Y'all ain't watching this.
My uncles could take offense. I don't care.
If they watch the show, they know. They know.
Yeah. They can holler at me in the spirit world. I'll give them the same respect too. But until then,
they're like, bring your ass to DC right now. We gotta say something.
Well, and also like Zuko, I just want to say, let me just say this about Zuko.
No, go ahead.
He's the least powerful member of his family. Like, he's the least powerful. Like, Iroh's a better firebender. His sister
Azula, for sure.
Azula is like,
he literally has the mark of how shitty he is
on
his skin.
His dad, like he's the worst, and he still overcomes and still finds a way to beat them. And I'm always a sucker for a bad boy. So
he has the most dynamic journey out of. I mean, honestly, the show should have been about him. Period. Let's just
probably so. Yeah,
because his story
ultimately was really
his story is the most dynamic. He's the one that actually goes through character growth. Yeah. Aang learned some lessons, by the way, while he's doing this, but like he was going to do that shit regardless. He was the Avatar. Mm-hmm. That was like a foregone conclusion that he was going to have to put everything back. But like Zuko had to learn. Like,
what was Aang's mission? Put everything back.
Put all them back. Put it back. Bring all the people back.
But Zuko, remember, is the only one who gets his own episode. He gets his own episode on an Avatar, The Last Airbender show, and he gets his own episode that has nothing to do with the Avatar. Like,
as I said, like his character growth is more dynamic than Aang is. Like, his story is more dynamic than Aang's was, because Aang's is the best boy. He's going to go fight the Dark Lord. Yeah, you're not talking about the fucking I was 100% a little Nazi youth, and then I realized the error of my ways, and now I'm going to turn a new leaf and actually help the person I was trying to kill, and like help him beat up my dad. Like that's dynamic. Like, that's awesome.
And he didn't kill his sister, which he could have. He could have had every right to just unalive her. And does he get the last line? Is the last line in the show, "Where is my mother"?
I think so, yeah.
Now tell me, where is my mother?
Oh yeah, she forgot about you. She got other kids. Like she got a whole other family. She didn't even know.
I think that's like done in the comic books, right? They go through that whole thing. Yeah.
He actually ends up finding her, and she gets her memory back, and like they become a thing. Like I love you. Blah, blah, blah,
blah. Anyway. Okay, I talked y'all's ears off.
Next, this is what we like about the show. There's still 5 people who've been sitting here watching us wax poetically about Avatar: The Last Airbender and not The Way of Water.
Slow down, Jason. Slow down. Cameron has 3 and 4 ready for us, and we're going to the Fire Nation next time.
Yeah, I know. He's literally doing Avatar.
Yes, going to the Fire Nation now.
He's doing water bending, and he's going to go to the fire. Oh my god! Next one's going to be the air, guys.
Yeah. So
cool. Finally, they're going to have heart, and it's just not going to be as fun.
It's not Captain Planet.
Why is he here?
Why is heart an ability? It is the you know what? We've been going on too long. I don't want to start it. It is. I'll be pissed. I would be pissed if I was about to that I see all these shows doing this cool stuff, and I'm like, change your mind? Hopefully.
Here is a reasonable argument for why you shouldn't be doing the things you're doing.
The angel fly away, and then you're like, oh.
I'm going to summon all the elephants, and they're going to show you how poorly you've been treating them.
Yes, he is the Aquaman of the group.
He's the youngest. It's like, why do we bring who brought him?
Right. You can sit without heart so we need Captain Planet. You can sit down. Yeah, relax.
Between Kwame and Wheeler, they got this shit handled. We don't need wind. We don't need water. We got earth and fire. We're good.
That is a very good point.
Wheeler, burn these motherfuckers alive. I don't see why they never did that.
Okay, so next week, what are we doing? Remind me.
Knocking the cabin in the woods.
The M. Night Shyamalan, and then the cleaner. And then
the cleaner. We're doing the cleaner, guys.
And then
Are we going to do Triple R?
Oh, we can do Triple R.
Yeah, throw that on there.
I'll watch it on Netflix until I cancel it. So.
Until it cancels itself.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just want to remind all of our 5 viewers to
join our Pantheon.
Please.
Just to make the show longer, what domain would you be if you were a god?
Aries. Oh.
No, just the domain.
So what would be what name would I be if I was a god?
Yeah. What would you
the sun.
That's good. Very good. Very good. Huh, Lisa?
I think I would. I feel like I would be the god of war, the goddess of war. I'm pretty sure.
Hold on. You just told us the importance of love, and you're not going to be the goddess of love.
I'm the god of war.
Just told us this.
Hey, in some readings of the god of war is actually a nice guy.
The problem is for let me just tell you, my personality flaw is I am like so loyal, right? But if you dick me over, I want you to die. Like I just like
he has no mercy.
Yeah.
No empathy for your human life.
I would literally do anything for you. And so why would you shit on that? So you don't deserve me. So let me introduce you to my brother Hades.
So instead of the god of war, you be the god of petty revenge.
Yeah.
I see why you and Taylor Swift get along so well.
It's justified in my brain, okay? It's justified.
The god of writing really, really scathing songs about
yeah.
Well, obviously, my domain would be I would be the god of beer and titties. Ha! That's a show, everybody.
All right, there we are.
Cool.
Thanks everybody for joining. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, comment, do all this good stuff. 5,000. Hot yoga 10,000. I gotta agree with Lisa. 20,000. We talk about Taylor Swift. It's gonna be great.
Yep.
Either way, Lisa, you have any closing words for us?
Yep. I do support local businesses. One of our favorite places in downtown Lawrenceville went out of business, and it was Black owned, and we were very sad. So please, it was ice cream place. So
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Okay,
we were very sad. We were very, very sad. And it was literally like we were there one week and then it was just gone the next. So
it's the one that's downstairs, the alcoholic ice cream and all that. Man, we go there every like 2 weeks. Me and the girls, like,
it's gone. It's gone. Like it's completely cleaned out. No, yeah. So just do it. Like it might be, a little bit more money, but small businesses help keep the world go around, and those are important. It's important to your community, whether you realize it or not. So happy Black History Month. Venmo your Black friends $20.
Hey, new thing.
Do you have any closing words for us?
Nothing that I want to follow after that. Just great message. So no, I'm good. Thank you guys. See you next week.
Right.
He said thanks for the $20.
Also, everybody, remember that the Headcanon Circus website is available and to you right now. www.headcannoncircus.com. We have videos, old episodes of videos, those episodes of podcasts, as well as a blog. And please come and interact and look at it and share it. I worked really hard on it.
Yes.
Thanks everybody for joining us. Always be kind, be considerate, and tip your bartenders at least 20%, if not more, if you can afford it. And if you see Jaron on the street, tell me he needs to make his fucking character like tonight.
Okay.
All right. Everybody have a good night, and we'll see you later.
And if you see the Taco Mac bartender, let her know Jason said what's up.
Hey,
Jason.